front of me, I have Mercedes driver number 19, JonerF1.
Hello.
So, I got a couple of questions for you looking ahead of the season. The first one, of course, you are the season two champion. So the first question is, how do you look back on past on the last season?
Well, honestly, I mean, I look back on it with I don't know if it's necessarily with rose tinted glasses, but I mean, it's hard to not look back on it and not be super happy with the result, especially winning the championship, coming down to the last race in Interlagos. I mean, it was a great season, a great fight overall, tons of fun, awesome racing between everybody. That it's hard not to look back on it and smile, considering after everything that went down throughout the entire season and all the battles, and to walk away with the championship is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, exactly. We had some great battles, so I think you can be happy with that season, right? Everything went
Yeah,
smooth.
I think so. I think so. I mean, everything went pretty smoothly. 3 Grand Prix victories and a drivers' championship to my name after the end of the season. So no complaints on my end, and really excited. Looking forward to season 3.
It had to go all the way to the final race. So, do you think you had a?
Yeah,
Do you think you could have clinched it earlier, or is that what you expected?
but I think I could have clinched it earlier if not for some of my own mistakes. But also, credit to my opponent in the drivers' championship, you, because you really put the fight up to it at the end of the year, and I think that I probably could have clinched it in Mexico had I done a little bit more, but that's okay. And at the end of the day, the goal is the same no matter what race it finishes in, whether that's 3 races before the end, 5 races before the end, or the last race on the calendar. The goal is the same, and to come home with that goal, to me, looking back on it, yeah, it would have been nice to do it a little earlier, but it doesn't matter when you do it as long as you do it in the end. So, yeah, no complaints, no complaints after winning a drivers' championship.
Yeah, great stuff. So, the team you won the championship with was McLaren, of course, but you now decided to go back to the team you debuted in this league, which is Mercedes. So, was there any reason why you decided to leave McLaren, why you got the championship with?
Well, it was a really bittersweet decision. I'll be honest with you. I really enjoyed my time at McLaren. It was a ton of fun, especially racing alongside a good friend of mine as a teammate. But as you mentioned, yeah, I made my debut with Mercedes AMG in season 1 of TGR. So to me, it was kind of looking back on it and going, well, I think there's a little bit of unfinished business at Mercedes that I'd love to put some extra records in the books. And I think that the offer was too good to pass up, to be honest with you, in terms of a contract offer going back and forth with the guy at Mercedes. The offer was too hard to pass up, and I figured that a change of scenery never hurt nobody. So let's see what happens. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to being a part of a new team and well, not necessarily a new team, but a team that I'm very familiar with. But being part of a new team with a new teammate and seeing the dynamic and hopefully going for constructors title number 2.
Yeah, you're not a strange driver there. You already got a win, I think, in season one. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good season for you there.
Yeah, I think so, and the team at Mercedes is super supportive as well as my teammate, and I'm really excited to get racing with the boys in black, silver, and teal because I think we're gonna have a really good year, and it's a pretty lethal combination at Mercedes this year, if you ask me. So I'm really excited to see how we go.
Yeah, same for me. Excited to see how you can do it in the Silver Arrow. So speaking about your teammate, you already did. The question is, do you already have experience driving with him, or we know he is fast, but do you have personal experience with him already? Do you guys have any plans?
I mean, yeah, the plans looking forward to the season are pretty straightforward. The plan is to win, and anything less than that isn't acceptable. So I think that for us, it's all about winning and doing what we can to make sure that Mercedes comes out on top, and one of us in the drivers' championship comes out on top. So we're really looking forward to that. But in terms of driving with each other, yeah, I mean, we raced against each other last year. He's really clean, really good, really fast. And I think it's a really good combination when you take a guy who's got drivers' championship potential and a driver's champion, and you stick them in the same team. I think that we have a really good shot at it, and I think anything less than a constructors championship is a failure this year.
Well, that's a very high goal, but I think you guys do have a shot. If I look at the experience with the drivers in that team. So looking forward to the season with Mercedes. But going back to you personal as a driver, before a race, how do you mostly prepare for a race? Is it more like listening to music, or do you practice at the track? What is your procedure heading into a race weekend?
Well, it's funny actually. I don't do a lot of laps because I find myself not wanting to get to overthink, every corner and every braking point and every acceleration on the track. So actually, yeah, what I do is I like to listen to some music, get comfortable, make sure that my setup is where I want it to be in terms of vehicle setup as well as sim setup, and make sure that everything is comfortable. Make sure I have a glass of water, as well as a glass of water next to me because this room gets pretty hot when you're driving for an hour and a half. But yeah, no, it's just listening to a little bit of music, hanging out with the family a little bit before the race, telling them a little bit about what track we're going to, my experience there, and I'm lucky enough now to have driven it every track for a long time. I mean, you and I, Thomas, have been racing together for going on 5 years now, so um, I'm pretty comfortable at most of them, and it's just a matter of making sure that I let my skills do what they need to do and not really overthink it. Because just be confident in myself and throw everything I have out there when it comes to the race, and let the experience do the talking.
Yeah, it's very fun to hear that you always have some kind of audience talking to your family before the race. Do they also watch and support you during the race, or?
They don't necessarily watch. That's more of a me thing. Like I don't really want them to watch because I don't want those eyes on me when I'm racing. But my parents are super into kind of the results and stuff like that, and will tend to watch highlights back after good races. And my mom's always really into it about what's going on, and how I'm doing and how's the championship battle and who I'm racing against. And they're really into that kind of stuff because they think it's super cool that I get to race against people all across the globe, and it's really cool to after a good race go down and let them know how it went and tell them all about quali and the race. So yeah, I do have a good audience and a good support system in terms of the racing, and they're always super excited to hear about how it went. So that's really cool.
That's really cool. Not everyone has that, so hats off to them.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I can't lie. I'm very fortunate that they're just as into it as I am. Really.
Yeah, exactly. So, heading towards the end, the next question I got for you is the expectation. Where do you expect yourself? Are you aiming to get the second driver title, or is it going to be a bit more mid-pack, or what do you expect?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't really be a racing driver if I said I wasn't going for the championship. Every year, that's the goal, and that's the ultimate challenge for everyone. And I think I have a bit more of a target on my back than anyone else, considering I'm the defending champion from last year. So I'd love to defend it. Will I do that? I don't know. There's some real serious talent in this league and some serious drivers. So defending it is one thing, but yeah, of course, that's always the goal going into the season, especially as the defending champion, is to repeat and to show everybody there's a reason why you did it the first time. And with that target on my back, I see it as motivation, and it's time to go out and get a second one, or a third one technically, but a second one in TGR.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the spirit. Like whatever the package is you have, that's the spirit to go, I guess. So
Yeah, of course. I mean, it wouldn't be. I'd be a pretty bad competitor if I said no. I'm going to sit in the midfield. Like, of course, I'd like to go and win it. Now, that's not necessarily always realistic. Stuff gets in the way, whether the guys are faster than me and whatever the case may be. I know there's really only one track that I'm by a landslide faster than people, and that's Monaco. But I don't even know if that stands anymore because it's been a long time since the F1 games have been to my liking in terms of physics. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean at the end goal, it's always wanting to go and win the championship, and you always shoot for the stars. And if you make it, you make it. And I did it last year, so the goal is to repeat.
Yeah, speaking about those goals, is that so that is your goal, getting that second championship, or are there any
Yeah, of
things you
course.
want to improve on?
Well, yeah, I'd love to improve on my consistency, to be honest with you. I like to think of myself as a very consistent driver, but consistency in terms of, wins is kind of what I'm looking for, wins and find myself on the podium a lot, but you got to beat a lot of people in order to win a championship. Believe me, I know. And it doesn't just happen. So consistency and making sure that you're on the ball every single week is really important. And I'd love to improve on, the little things in terms of F124 specifically, but that's okay. There's always room for improvement. So yeah, the goal is 100% to defend the title.
So what you're basically saying is that your goal is that you're gonna have to win more than 3 or 4 races, as you already have multiple wins. uh,
Yeah,
last season.
yeah.
So that's great to hear. The goal is still there.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, I'd be a pretty bad competitor if the goal wasn't to go out there and beat everyone else. So the goal is to win as much as possible and to walk away at the end of the year with both championships and the Mercedes and show everyone else why I've done it once and I can do it again.
Great stuff. Yeah, that were all the questions. So thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, my pleasure.
See you on track.
Absolutely.